Assalamualaikum and a very good day to everyone. Hi, my name is Dr. Shira. So for this video, I would like to talk about interpersonal skills and communication. Let's get started. The definition of interpersonal skill, number one, interpersonal skill are traits. Okay, something that you rely on when you interact and communicate with others. So in our life, you need to communicate with others in order to get things done, in order to enjoy life, and also in order to exchange ideas, thoughts, feelings with other people. Yeah. So in our life, we are all a human being that interconnected with one another. We also call it as people skills, and also it is very essential because it is something that is unavoidable, just like in my video previous video that I talk about principle of interpersonal skill. It is unavoidable. Yeah. And interpersonal skill cover a variety of scenarios where communication and cooperation are essential. So as a human being, we always need to collaborate. We need to keep in touch with another person in order to do some hobby, to do our work, or to just have a family affair in order. Okay, as a family, we need to engage and get to know each other better. So it's just interpersonal skill is not just for workplace, but it is also for our daily life with your friends, with your family, with your siblings, and so forth. So there are two types of communication. Number one, verbal communication, and number two is non-verbal communication. In verbal communication, there are at least two types: oral communication and written communication. When it comes to oral communication, it's about a speech. Okay, it's about a voice that we use using words and sentences. And when it comes to written communication, it is based on our writing skill. So oral communication, there are many types. We face to face with a one-to-one person. It can be small group discussion like meeting, group project discussions, and so forth. And we can also have a public communication whereby you speak to in a large group of people to convey your message orally. Yeah, just like your presentation, your public speaking, and so forth. And number two is written communication. This is also, there are many types of written communication, and it's very essential today that we make sure we use the right way of written communication. I will show you an example of that written communication at the end of this video. Okay, such as written communication is like text messages, WhatsApp, social media, email, okay, and articles in order to convey a message. Okay. And when it comes to non-verbal communication, sometimes we sometimes are not aware with this non-verbal communication, but it does actually convey certain message to another person, although you do not say it orally, or you did not even write it. Okay, so there are two: body language and expressive behavior. So when it comes to body language, these are the types of body language that we need to observe in order for us to send the right message to another person. Okay, number one, ways of talking. Okay, are we pause too much, or we stress the word, the inappropriate word, or we use a lot of so those are the ways of talking, including intonation. So when you are not really, when you speak too loud, okay, but you actually, you are not angry with that person, but just because you speak too loud, that person may be may be thought that you are angry with the person. So be careful with your intonation. Posture. So if you slouch and you show that the other person maybe feel that you are not really interested in that particular event. Okay, so make sure you are not slouching. Make sure your postures show that you are a person that is present at that particular moment and is respectful to another person. Yeah, something like this, it can actually send a message that you are not interested to accept other people's idea. Yeah, appearance. Okay, appearance is very important. At least you look tidy, all right, and make sure you are representable. And if you are not tidy, if your hair is messy, you may convey negative message to another person. So be careful with your appearance. Head movement, okay, also play a very important role. Okay, hand movement. Okay, Malaysian, we use the power of hand to stop cars when we want to cross the road, for example. So we have so many hand movement like okay, good, all right, and then so, and we use this for love. Okay, so those are the hand movement. And eye movement, of course, like blinking too much, it's maybe send an idea that you are not really comfortable, or making your eyes look sleepy, or even crying and so forth. Those are a part of eye movement that indicates and able to convey message to another person. Facial expression also the same. Sometimes people can say that I'm fine, but the facial expression does not in line with I'm fine. So it will give a certain form of different message or mixed messages to another person. A body contact, of course, shaking hand, make sure you only use appropriate body contact. If not, it may translate into some kind of sexual harassment or something like that. So it needs to be in a right body contact. Even eye movement, also the same thing. If you winking, okay, to another stranger, that is also may considered as sexual harassment. Okay, so be careful with that. Closeness. Okay, make sure you respect people's space when you are queuing up, when you are on in the bus or in public area. You respect other people's space. Don't be too close to one another because that may cause another person discomfort and signaling something negative. Right? Sounds like laughing, crying, and other sounds are also a part of body language. And interpersonal skill is not just about those verbal, non-verbal. It is also about your traits. What kind of traits or characteristic that people look at you? Do you have it? All right. Number one, teamwork. Okay. When your friend would like to work with you, okay, do they want to work with you because you do know how to cooperate, collaborate, a cooperative person, or a person able to accept other people's idea? So teamwork is very important trait for you to have. You are a team player. And number two, whether they can trust you or not. Responsibility and dependability. Can they depend on you? Are you responsible enough to get the task done? Okay, and then we have leadership. Okay, are you able to become a leader? Are you able to delegate the job in a right way? Okay, and motivation. Okay, when people look at you, do people look at you as a person that has a trait of a motivated person and able to motivate others, or the other way around? Okay, flexibility. Okay, are you a person that is flexible enough to change to be a better person, or you are not flexible? And usually people prefer a flexible person, a person that willing to change to be a better person rather than a person who refuses to change. Yeah. People also prefers a person that a patient person rather than hot-tempered and impatient person. Empathy and active listening. These are the two things that is very important in everybody's life, especially if you want to have an effective interpersonal communication with others. Because in order for you to convey your message effectively, you need to understand other people's situation, be empathy or care about others, and also listen to what they want to say and make sure it is not what you want to hear. Okay, it is what that person would really want to say. Those are a little bit about interpersonal skill and communication. Now we go to a little bit in depth in terms of language per se, whereby we always use this. Okay, we call it euphemism, whereby it is an indirect way of expressing something while talking about sensitive subjects. Sometimes we talk about sensitive subjects. For example, a person died. Okay, so we use the word pass away. It sounds better than died. Okay, so so if we use it might be if you use a direct word, it might sound rude or it might sound taboo or upsetting. So that's why we use euphemism in order to sound it better and less offensive, but it's the same meaning still. Okay, such as these are some example, right? It is a challenging task. Actually, it's difficult task, okay? But you use the word challenging. It's better than difficult. He is in between job. He lost his job actually. So, but it's better to say he is in between job. Okay, when a cat or your cat is having a really bad, is really sick. Okay, the vet need to put the cat to sleep. So in other words, the vet said the cat could not make it. All right. Or he has passed away, as I mentioned just now. Instead of say he died, okay, you use the word he passed away. Or you strongly disagree with a person, instead of saying no, that is wrong. What you say is wrong. You said agree to disagree. It sounds better. Pre-love is a used sofa, but you really want to sell and you want to put some value of money in the sofa that you have used, so you use the word pre-love. Okay, cognitively challenged. Another word is another word to say that that person is stupid. All right, it's some word, a word that we never want to use. Okay, not too smart. Okay, letting you go. Okay, when a boss wanted to fire a person, he might not said you are fired, but he said, oh sorry, I'm letting you go. It's actually the outcome is similar, but it sounds a little bit better. Next one, another thing about language that we use in our interpersonal skill and communication is connotation. Connotation refers to a meaning suggested or implied by use of a particular word beyond its literal meaning. All right? It impacts how reader perceive the overall meaning of what a writer or speaker is trying to communicate. I'll give you an example later. Don't worry. Okay, depending on how word is used, all right, in order to kind of like indicate or convey negativity, positivity, or neutral. Okay, these are some of the example. Okay, for example, using the word group. A group is a set of more than one person. However, these three is having different kind of connotation. Okay, for example, group is a neutral connotation. Clique is some kind of like a negative connotation that they are togetherness is a little bit too strong. Gang also kind of like give a negative connotation. All right, whereby it is an organized group and usually for something that is negative and also violent way of doing things. Okay, or club is more positive, more to things that do people do things together in for the benefit of others too. So these are the one of the example of connotation. There are the words, for example, like dog. Dog is an animal, but when it used like you you behave like a dog or something like that, then it actually uh, convey a negative kind of message. A dog is cute, is a good message, but you eat like a dog or you behave like a dog, it might actually sounds convey a negative connotation. Okay. So now, before I end this video, I would like to talk a little bit about common sense. What is common sense? It is very important to have common sense in order for you to have a good interpersonal skill and communication, right? It is a basic level of practical knowledge and judgment that we all need to have to help us live in reasonable and safe manner. It's something that is common. Everybody's supposed to know about it. Let me share with you some of the common sense. Okay, I'm giving you only about online common sense and also maybe some public area, public space common sense. Okay, there's one of the psychologists said why common sense is not so common anymore. Okay, the reason why, because different generation are having a lot of changes from time to time. Okay, common sense is not reasoning, logic, intuition, or innate. It is acquired and is changing since the content of nature, reality are changing. Okay, whereby now we have more individualism, we have more technology usage, and so forth. So because of that, there are certain common sense change. Yeah, common sense is the true understanding of cause and effect, the pragmatic function of scientific method to operationally define the truth. Okay, so for example, in my time, it is easier for us to respect the elderly. All right, we understand that if there's elderly in a queue in one line, we will let the elderly go first. But at this moment, to what extent the youth nowadays able to understand that as a common sense? Okay, is it a common sense for youth today to let the elderly person, an old person, to go first, okay, to cut their queue, and because they are older than them? So common sense during online discussion, classes, meeting, conferences, and any kind of online discussion. You need to remember interpersonal skill, as I mentioned, is verbal and non-verbal. So your facial expression, you're present as a human being in online. In other words, yourself to be present visually is very important. Therefore, number one, you need to switch on your camera in order to have a good engagement with others. Okay. Number two, it is important for you to say hello, assalamualaikum, hi, and also thank you at the end of the discussion. Because you need to understand the reason why you partake in that particular meeting, class, conference, seminar, online seminar, because you want to be there and because you know it is beneficial for you. So when you join an online discussion, make sure you are wholeheartedly there in order to maximize and to get the best benefit out of that online discussion. Of course, proper attire, it doesn't mean you are at home, you can just wear whatever you want. Okay, make sure you proper attire, properly dressed, and you are clean. psychologically, when you are in a proper attire, you are clean, it's sending a message to yourself that you are serious about the matter, and also to the rest of the participant online that you are a person that is respectful for the whole event. Okay, be prepared. Of course, it is still as a normal face-to-face discussion. It's just in online, so you need to be prepared. Participate in the discussion. Do not be disappear during the discussion, and be present in the online discussion, and not to do other thing else just because you are online. Be present during the online discussion. Common sense using WhatsApp, social media, and email. Okay, I'm giving you this example. This is I took it from my friend. She worked in a company, and recently there's a student approached her to work to do part-time job. Okay, and the way they wrote to her is it's very relaxed, and they do not even care to write a proper sentences. Okay, so because of this, okay, this employer reject the application because they use improper words. Okay, even the way they wrote, like acids doctor. What is acid doctor? Right? And some of them even use too many question marks and so forth. It indicates rude behavior if you put too many question marks. All right, so be careful with that. So this employer, she replied by saying that your application is not accepted, and she gave some advice. Okay, number one, mind your word and spelling while applying for jobs. It is not appropriate to use short forms. Basically, each of your words reflects yourself, right? It is okay to use short words and so forth with your friends and family, but not with other people, including your employer, including your lecturers, or anybody that is you work with that particular, you engage with that particular person formally. Okay, um, I didn't even use even a single short form, and all spelling are correct. But you are these two students are total opposite. Second, you should not ask about salary and mention if work salary po salah eja, all okay, mean can continue. So all these are signal of red flag. Third, today without any greeting, okay, like hi miss, sorry for disturbing, immediately tanya and any update. So this is show rudeness. Okay, you are disrespectful. So make sure when you write text, yes, it is convenient to write text, WhatsApp, so forth, but make sure you know what kind of relationship you have with the person. If it is formal relationship, you must write formally. Okay, if it's formal relationship. If with your auntie, your mom, your friends, it's okay. But if it's formal relationship, make sure you write your sentences, full sentences, and a proper salutation and so forth. Yeah, so that's all for today. A little bit about common sense. Inshallah, I'll be sharing with you common sense about another common sense video, especially at public spaces and so forth. That's all. Thank you. Let's construct the best reality for everyone. Bye.